welcome back to the Tea and a Buddy podcast. I'm Dominic.
And I'm Erica.
And on today's episode, we are doing Is It British or Is It American? The Candy Bar Edition.
Oh, yeah. And if you guys are following us on our Instagram, we are at TButty, TEABUTTY. We are currently running a chocolate candy bar tournament.
Chocolate candy bar tournament. It's to decide
whatever.
Once and for all what is the best candy bar in the world.
Yeah.
Or in the Western world, at least.
Well, British versus American.
Well, no, actually, and let's face it. This is it now. No one can come close. Whoever wins this, it's on.
Yeah. So what we've done is
taken the title.
We previously asked our Instagram followers to just send us their favorite chocolate bars. We've compiled those.
No, they just sent us their favorite chocolate bars.
Don't we wish?
And we taste test them on the podcast. So there you go. Yum, yum, yum. Wasn't going to eat it. I was just going to taste it.
We previously asked them to send us their favorite American chocolate bars and then their favorite British chocolate bars. And so we've made two separate brackets, basically. Yeah. We're pitting the Americans against Americans, British versus British, dwindling it down until we have one winner in each bracket.
World Cup of chocolate bars.
And then we'll and then we'll announce the winner on another podcast. Yeah, so if you don't follow us on Instagram, what are you doing with your life?
What are you doing with your life? Sort your life out, mate.
Be sure to go over there and get involved, get voting.
Yeah.
And then we'll just talk all about chocolate bars in another podcast, and we'll reveal the ultimate chocolate bar
ever.
Yeah.
In the world. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm holding my arms out
You're going to do that for the rest of the episode, aren't you?
Bar. Oh, no. I don't have that kind of arms.
My arms are very tired. Sorry, I can't do that. Well, I'm going to quiz Erica today.
Yeah.
On whether these famous names of chocolate, and I think, well, some of them are chocolate, some of them are like candy.
Okay.
Candy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say where they were first invented, where they were first produced.
You're going to say, or I'm going to guess? Well,
no, you're going to guess. Yes.
I'm going to guess, and then you're going to say.
And then I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to play along, we'll
give you a little time, and you can just go, and you can just, you can.
Or you can always just pause the podcast.
Just pause the podcast.
And then hit play again when you're ready.
And then hit play again when you're ready.
Yeah.
Because we know. It's old school like that, you see. But anyway, the first one on the list. Erica.
We need the dramatic game show music.
Game show music from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah, that's the dramatic game show.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
The first one on the list is Starburst.
Okay.
Is it British or is it American?
Now, we've talked about this before. You're Regis now, okay?
So you were Regis.
No, you're Regis, and you're supposed to tell me that
I've got to be Regis. I've got to be Chris Talent.
To talk you through my thought process. So
talk me through your thought process, okay? Because you only get two out two, is it British or is it American? You got to, the freaking music going. You just don't know about this,
and
mate.
I can phone a friend.
You can phone a little friend. You can ask the audience. And what was the later ones? You could
50-50.
Yeah, well, 50-50, but
There was another one too. Yeah, I can't. Ask an expert.
Ask an expert. I think that was a new one.
Yeah. Anyway.
Ask the computer.
We've talked about this before.
We have.
But I don't remember.
Where was it first produced?
I know in Britain they were called opal fruits.
Yes.
I'm going to say it's American then. There's Starbursts over here, and there's still Starbursts, and they've always been Starbursts. And now in Britain, what was once called opal fruits is now called Starburst. So I'm going to say, and I didn't give our listeners a chance to think about it.
They may
be
screaming it right now. They may be screaming it right now at us. So
I think it's American.
Is that your final answer?
This is my final answer, Reg.
You're locking it in. Before we lock it in, what do you think? What do you all think? Okay, we'll give you a little bit of time to shout the answer. It is. It's actually British.
Oh,
wah, wah,
God.
Wah.
That's what we were talking about.
It was called Opal Fruits to begin with.
It was David Schwimmer, wasn't it?
David Schwimmer, mate. And he was like, no, I've had these since I was a kid. What are you talking about? Oh,
yeah.
You know. It's just like, no.
Who makes them?
Well, they were introduced by Mars in the UK in 1960, and they were named Opal Fruits by Peter Phillips, the winner of a competition that won him £5.
But wasn't Mars American?
Mars was American, but they had a division of their thing that was in Slough. One of the guys came over to Britain and set up his own Mars UK.
Okay.
I don't know if it was
sort of like a franchise.
It was kind of like a franchise, yeah. I mean, basically, but I think he just wanted to start because chocolate was much bigger in the UK. It was a much bigger market for it in the UK than over here, it seemed. And he started producing all this stuff that
yeah,
the Mars bar and stuff like that,
yeah.
And Opal Fruits was one of them, that was produced at their factory in Slough. And the 4 original flavours were strawberry, lemon, orange, and lime. And they were introduced in the US in 1967, and they were called M&M's Fruit Chewies.
What?
And then later in the late 1960s, Starburst.
Shut your face. M&M's Fruit Chewies.
Yes.
What does M&M's even stand for? I don't even know.
People think it was Mars. It was something to do with like 2 chocolate people.
Yeah.
It was their last name. I think it was Mars and Milton or something like that.
Not Marshall Mathers, then.
No, not Marshall Mathers. No. Not the real Slim Shady, I'm afraid.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, interesting.
Yeah,
anyway.
and then, it was probably an attempt to express the burst of flavour at each bite and draw attention while space interest was at its peak during the space race.
Starburst, yeah.
Yeah, so the name Opal Fruits was phased out in the UK and Ireland in 1998.
That's a crap name. Starburst. It sounds much more appealing. Starburst.
Well, and Starburst to me sounds more like, like sherbet or something. Yeah. Or Pop Rocks.
Yeah, I guess it would.
Like Opal Fruits. It's like, oh, they're fruits, and they're just like, I can eat them like.
What is Opal? I've asked you this before in the podcast.
I don't know why you call it Opal
Fruits. Know.
I mean, like opal.
Like opalescent.
Maybe, yeah. Something like that,
Okay. Anyway, next.
Well, the next one, right? Continuing on the fruit candies. Skittles. Is it American or is it British?
Taste the Rainbow. It's gotta be American.
Taste the Rainbow?
It's gotta be American.
Is it?
I mean...
Is that your final answer?
I mean, I really genuinely have absolutely no idea.
What do you all think? British or American? Come on.
It seems very American. I'm kind of thinking that I've seen it in the American candy shop in Britain.
Oh!
Yeah. So, but I have no idea who makes it or anything like that to give me any sort of hint. I just know I've eaten them my whole life. I have no idea even like how long they've been around or anything. I can't imagine that they go like way, way back. Like, I don't know. They just don't seem super old fashioned. Like maybe to the 60s.
60s, man.
But I can't imagine like older.
You're going through your thought process,
yeah.
And you.
I'm thinking.
And you're locking it in as American.
Yeah. I mean, I know. I'm just gonna think everything's American. I feel like I'm just like American. It's American.
So your final answer is American.
Mm-hmm. I have no reason as to why. It's just looks kind of American, I guess.
It was British.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, it was made by a company in England in 1974.
What?
And it was introduced the exact inventor of the Skittle is actually unknown. Nobody they know it's a British company. They know it was introduced.
Oh, how convenient!
No,
we don't know who made these.
We don't know.
But we
the popular
do
theory
know
is
they're British.
The popular theory is
likely.
The popular theory is there was a man named Mr. Skittles, and he wanted to capture the taste of the rainbow.
Yeah.
But they don't know who exactly. It was a company in England because they were introduced in England in 1974, and they came to the US in 1979.
No. We don't know who made these
as an import confectionery.
He was definitely British.
He was definitely British. Mr. Skittles, come on now.
Yeah, Skittles.
He's just walking around. He's just like, oh, it's a lovely rainbow. I wonder what it tastes like.
Skittles is not a name.
Mr. Skittles. He's like Willy Wonka, okay?
Mr. Skittles,
hey.
like you know who he is.
Mr. Skittles.
He's just this little guy with like green and red and orange hair that just like sticks
and he's got glasses
everywhere.
that are constantly like, like mirrored glasses.
And he wears overalls.
And he wears little overalls and he walks around and he's like, oh, it's a lovely rainbow. I wonder what it tastes like. Let me figure out what it tastes like.
No, I do not accept this.
Yes, and he's like Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka has nothing on him.
But they must have been British.
There was a man called Mr. Skittles, and
they're just making this up, though.
Yes, they are. They actually don't know who invented
it.
He harnessed the taste of the rainbow.
Get out! Get out!
He harnessed the taste of the rainbow. He harnessed it because he's Mr. Skittles, and that's what he does. He's like Willy Wonka. It's like, you've got a golden ticket, I've got a rainbow ticket.
Get absolutely out of here.
That's the theory, because they don't know exactly who. Because I mean,
why was he Mars, obviously British?
The Wrigley Company and Mars started producing them then. Over here in 1982.
Yeah.
But
in 1982, I was gonna say they look quite 80s-ish to me.
They were introduced as an import candy in 79. Like Kinder Bueno and Toffifee and stuff like that are coming over here as like import candies.
Yeah.
And they're starting to try and make a ground base for them.
They were doing Maltesers for a while, weren't they? But you don't see them anymore.
Yeah, they were, but then I guess they didn't take off because of
Yeah.
It's been too late, mate. But Mr. Skittles, he should have come. Mr. Skittles harnessed the taste of the rainbow.
He had overalls on, red overalls.
No, he doesn't look like an overall man. He looked more like a Willy Wonka man.
And on the pocket of the overalls was a little rainbow.
No, that is actually somebody.
Shut up!
Who had a rainbow on their overalls?
Was it Rainbow Bright?
No,
I can't remember what she looked like.
It was a little pig. They used to wear pink overalls, and they had a rainbow on there.
It must have been Mr. Skittles.
No, it was a girl. But
Mrs. Skittles.
No. Mrs. Skittles. She told her husband, "Get out there and harness that rainbow and make us some
overalls.
money."
It was one of those overall dresses. The bottom part instead of pants.
Rainbow, and it's cute.
Instead of pants, it was like the skirt. Like oshkosh bagosh.
But Mr. Skittles, anyway.
Okay, so wait, tell me again how or when they started appearing.
They started appearing in 1974.
Okay, but they didn't start appearing
by a British
America
company
until the 1980s.
I have a feeling it was probably Roundtrees or something, and I haven't really delved too deep into it because Skittles now are owned by Mars and whatever, and so Mars just pretends like, we've been making it for since then.
Yeah.
It's an American candy now. Americans love it. They know it. David Schwimmer grew up with it. Do not ruin David Schwimmer's childhood by telling him that his Skittles were actually invented in Britain,
I mean, it probably is my favorite non-chocolate candy, Skittles.
Yeah, Skittles and Starburst, so they're both British, so what you doing here? You and Mr. Skittles, eh?
Oh my god. Yeah, speaking of Skittles, they just recently announced their campaign that they are bringing back the lime Skittle.
Do you know who wants it back? Mr. Skittles.
No, Mr. Skittle doesn't exist anymore. I don't care.
Yes, he does.
No.
Mr. Skittles is eternal.
He's long gone.
He's in the rainbow. He was in the rainbow.
He's become part of the. No, what is that? The Rainbow Bridge.
The Rainbow
He's gone
Bridge.
Over the Rainbow Bridge. He's gone over
Mr.
the
Skittles
Rainbow Bridge.
lives
Mr. Skittles.
on the Rainbow Bridge, and he says he's like a little bridge troll now. And he's like, you know what? If you don't put
Oh my God.
the lime Skittles back in there and sod that green apple off, I'm coming back and I'm taking all the Skittles from everywhere. And then there'll be no Skittles left. And people are like, I just wanted a pack of Skittles. Is it? Well, we don't know where they've gone.
I saw people were really angry.
We don't know who invented them, so they don't know where they've disappeared to.
It's very funny because it's just like, I saw a bunch of people saying nobody asked for the green apple Skittle in the first place. And then other
that's
people,
what Mr. Skittles said too.
And then other people were going, were very angry that there was ever a green apple Skittle, you know, or no, they're very angry because they love the green apple Skittle and they despise the lime Skittle and they desperately need the green apple Skittle.
Well,
and they'll never buy Skittles again now.
Mr. Skittles will have something to say about that, won't he?
Okay, yes. I think we've exhausted this now.
No, we have not.
Time to move
Mr. Skittles is eternal and he will be back at the end of the program. The next one is 100 grand.
Oh,
is it British or is it American?
Do not, because you had never heard of 100 grand bar.
Hadn't I? Or was I just faking you out like Mr. Skittles?
And if you tell me that this is British, I will just be.
Is it British or is it American?
It cannot be British. You didn't know what it was, and it's been around here for freaking eons. I swear it's probably been a candy bar in this country since, like, the 1950s or something. Like, it's an old-fashioned candy bar.
Really?
People don't even
is
eat
it,
it
though?
anymore. Yeah, I mean, find a little kid on the street and ask him, what's 100 grand bar? And he probably doesn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Or, like, a Mr. Good bar. He doesn't know what that is, either. He probably doesn't know what a Baby Ruth is. Oh, yeah.
Is it British or is it American?
It's gotta be American. 100 grand. Like, you guys don't even hardly have $50, 50 pound notes, let alone 100 grand. Like, you're not even thinking about 100 grand.
We don't have 100 grand notes over here.
You're not even, 100 grand could never even cross your minds in Britain, okay? It's gotta be American.
What was it originally called? George Costanza will tell you.
Oh, come on. What do you mean? What was... Oh, no, I did recently hear this.
Oh, no!
Oh.
What was it originally called?
I recently saw this somewhere. Oh, gosh.
Oh.
No, it wasn't a marathon.
I thought you were going to say Mr. Skittles then.
No,
I was
shut up with Mr. Skittles. Get out.
Mr. Skittles does not
want
to be associated with this. He doesn't do chocolate. He just does rainbows.
Oh, my God. I can't remember. No, I say it's American, and I know what it used to be called, but I do not remember. So just...
It was originally called the $100,000 bar.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
How did you not know that? George Costanza called it that when he wanted something from the vending machine.
100,000?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was an episode of Seinfeld. People will know it. You'll know what I'm talking about.
I don't remember that.
But anyway, is it British or is it American?
I say it's American.
You'd be correct.
Ding, 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 ding.
It was originally invented in 1964.
Oh, so it's not as old as I thought it was. But I think it's one of the best American candy bars. And, like, it's very little... It's underappreciated, the 100 grand bar.
Yes, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I like it, yeah.
Delicious.
Very delicious. Next up, Twix. Is it British or is it American?
Oh, God. I mean...
Twix.
This has got to be one of those things where you think it's American, so it's definitely British. I don't know. I mean, how can I not know when this is enough. You know, guys, the last couple of podcasts have talked about different things, various things that Dominic's always going on about.
Various things.
This is another thing he's always going on about. Oh, didn't you know that's originally British? That chocolate bar originated in Britain.
Oh.
God, he's always going on about chocolate that originated in Britain. You guys, I swear. He's always just like, oh, that chocolate bar originated in Britain. Did you know?
I'm going to have to get Mr. Skittles to have a word with you, aren't I?
Left Twix, right Twix, they were both invented in Britain, okay?
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
And what about you people at home?
They're not
and
even
Mr.
listening
Skittles.
anymore. You're going on. You see, now we have to add Mr. Skittles to the list. You're always going on about Mr. Skittles.
Mr. Skittles is my friend.
We just can't.
And he's your
shut
friend
you up
too.
About Mr. Skittles these days. I swear.
Mr. Skittles and I, you'll be hearing from our lawyers.
Just give us the answer, okay?
Okay. It's from the UK.
Oh my god. Finally I got one right.
Yes, it was first produced in the United Kingdom in 1967 and then introduced in the United States in 1979. What was going on in 1979 that everything had to be introduced over here then?
I don't know. People were
Was it like
very
everybody had
sad.
eaten all the chocolate?
The 80s were coming and people were just
People needed chocolate.
People were just depressed. They were like
It's like, well, that must have been when Mr. Skittles died. Crossed the Rainbow Bridge.
Yes.
It was called Raider in mainland Europe, Twix. So
Raider?
Yeah, it was called Raider, okay? You don't
Where did they come up with these names? I mean, Twix.
For many years before its name was changed in 1991 to match the international brand name.
Yeah.
But now it's all Twix.
I mean, what
everywhere.
is Twix supposed to be? It's like twin, only they're sticks, so it's Twix.
Twix? You know, it's a cutesy name, isn't it? You know,
I guess so.
like there could be a Mr. Twix out there somewhere.
It's like Twix are for kids.
Twix.
You don't get that reference, do you? No, because guess what? Trix cereal is American.
You
and
said
if
Twix
tell me
are for
others-
kids.
I know. It was a play on words. Okay?
No, it
Come
wasn't.
on. Ay,
Call Mr.
Chihuahua.
Skittles on you. Jelly beans is the next one. Is it British or is it American?
Jelly beans.
Or are they American?
Oh,
Jelly
God.
beans, yeah.
Jelly beans are so old that they have to be British.
They're so old, are they?
I feel like they've been around for a long time, jelly beans. I don't know. And they're hard shelled and they're quite like, I don't know, different flavors, which is sort of like a Skittle and a sort of like a jelly baby. I'm going to guess that they're British, but you're going to tell me that they're freaking American, aren't you?
Is that your final answer?
Jelly beans. I'm trying to think now because my grandma used to have jelly beans in a jar on her kitchen countertop, and I seem to think you going, oh, jelly beans. I don't know. I haven't had jelly beans or something one time when you very first came.
Did I give the game away?
Jelly Belly, I think, is
Jelly
probably
Belly.
American. Oh, but
Jelly Belly's gonna get ya.
But then
Jelly
there's that
Belly's
Birdie
gonna
Bots,
get ya.
you
Birdie
know,
Bots,
which
every
comes
flavor
from-
of beans.
Yeah, which comes from Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
See,
And
now
Harry
this is
Potter.
my train of thought.
Harry
now.
Potter. Harry Potter.
I'm
yeah.
walking you through it.
Walking
Oh my
me
God,
through.
are you drunk?
Are you drunk? I think is what it is. You keep going mental about Mr. Skittles.
Going mental. Let's talk
Yeah.
about going mental.
Yeah, you're talking about Mr.
Jeez,
Skittles
you're
all the
revealing
time.
your true self to the podcast. To our
You
podcast
are.
listeners.
You're the one who's doing it.
You guys, I swear.
I have to keep you under.
Now you see what I'm
wraps.
dealing with all the time.
You see what I'm dealing with all the time. It's me, yeah, me. All right, let's get this back on track before these people switch off entirely.
They're not even listening at this point.
They are.
I mean, I really.
Yeah, it's delirious.
It's like maybe 2 people listening.
I think you need some
Jelly
Skittles.
beans, jelly babies, birdie bots, jelly belly.
Jelly Belly's gonna
I'm gonna change it, and I'm gonna
get ya.
say they're British. I say they're British now.
I think you did say that originally.
No, I said they're. I think I was gonna say they were American. Did I?
You
Did
said,
I say
"Oh,
were
they're so
British?
old, they must be British."
Oh, originally, yeah, but then I was
Yeah.
thinking, oh yeah, but when you came here, you said something about jelly beans. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know, I haven't had jelly beans before.
Well, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to say they're American.
Oh,
yes! Oh yes, they're American.
Hey, that was a surprise.
It has been claimed that jelly beans were first mentioned during 1861 when Boston confectioner William Shaft urged people to send his jelly beans to soldiers during the American Civil War. It was not until July 5th, 1905 that jelly beans were mentioned in the Chicago Daily News.
19 when? Say it again.
1905.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so they are really old.
they are pretty old, yeah.
Yeah, you can tell that they're like an old
They're like a
candy.
sugar, like syrup kind of thing. They're like candy corn, which
Mm.
isn't on this list, by the way.
Wow, invented in 1864. God, yeah.
1861.
People love
It's been claimed that they were first mentioned when a Boston confectioner urged people to send his jelly beans to soldiers in the American Civil War.
Yeah.
But yes.
Interesting. Yeah.
The next one I've got for you is jelly babies.
Well, I mean, this one's easy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yeah, because
we
don't want to eat babies in America. Okay?
Oh, do you not? Do you not now?
I mean, who wants to eat a baby? It's freaking weird. Leave that to the British to come up with jelly babies. Oh, look how cute this baby is. Let me eat him. No, that's definitely a British thing.
American or British?
British.
You are correct.
Yes.
They were invented in 1864 by an Austrian immigrant working at Friars of Lancashire and originally marketed as unclaimed babies.
Unclaimed babies?
Yes.
Even worse, that you want to eat unclaimed babies.
By 1918, they were produced by Bassett's in Sheffield as peace babies to mark the end of World War I. Bassett's themselves have supported the peace babies name. Production was suspended during World War II due to wartime shortages. The project was relaunched as Jelly Babies in 1953.
I mean, why are they babies, though?
Who doesn't want to eat a cute, squishy jelly baby?
I mean, I guess that, okay, to be realistic, I guess there is that saying, like, oh, he's so cute, I could eat him up.
Well, there you go. You've just, and they come in like orange, strawberry, lime, and they were named as well. I think there was Boofles. And there was Bumper.
It's so much worse that you give them names and then you
the
eat
pink
them.
One, the pink one was Bonnie, I think, because she was she was an actual baby of the babies. And then you had the green one, which was, I think, was Bumper. I think we have a blackcurrant one as well, which you've...
Why is there a whole story associated with this candy? Like, oh, they have names, and there's one that's a baby, but the others are a bit older, and it's just like...
They're a bit older babies.
What in God's name?
And the ones that are, like, introduced by Bassett's, you know, they're covered in, like, castor sugar flour, kind of, like, really fine powdered sugar. That's it. Yeah, powdered sugar. But there's ones that you get somewhere else. I think Haribo make them, and they're kind of skinnier, and they're not covered in thing. And they do a lemonade one, which is really delicious.
Oh my God, yeah, you're salivating just thinking about it.
Delicious babies.
You guys, he loves jelly babies, and my mom loves jelly babies, and I do not get it.
You've had a jelly baby. Do they taste good?
I mean, they're fine. They're okay.
Yeah.
They're like a jelly bean, only the outer part is not quite as hard as a jelly bean shell.
It's delicious.
There's similar to something we have over here.
Like a jelly bean. Well, the Beatles story, you know.
Yeah.
George Harrison likes them, so, you know, they got pelted with them at concerts in the UK, you know, because he liked them, you know. Mm-hmm. They heard about that over here, but of course jelly babies didn't exist because people were like, oh, why are you eating babies? Oh, gotta have
exactly.
like beans are better, you know. Those poor defenseless little beans. So they just pelted them with jelly beans. And,
yeah.
You know,
well, they thought that's what they meant.
That's what they meant,
yeah.
They
thought, oh, all the cutesy words that British people use, when they say jelly babies, they must mean jelly beans.
Well, they didn't. Jelly babies.
No, but we have something similar. If you guys have eaten a jelly baby before, tell me what I'm thinking of, because I'm not sure. We definitely have, like, some little jelly kind of candy that has the same textured outer part. I mean, we have a lot of jelly candies, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
But, yeah.
But anyway, let us know if you've ever eaten jelly babies. And also, do you not think it's weird that these candies are shaped like babies and they have names?
They're cute and they're delicious. And I urge everyone to try them.
And they're delicious. Like, that is a weird sentence.
What about bunnies? If they were bunny shaped, would you eat them then?
Well, I mean, I do. I eat Peeps, don't I?
Well, there you go.
But see, a lot of people don't. They hate Peeps, don't they? A lot of people hate Peeps.
But it's not because of the way they're shaped. They'd eat a chocolate bunny. They'd eat marshmallow bunny.
But those are animals.
Those are animals. Like, that makes it any better.
It's much weirder
much better to eat babies.
It's much weirder in a baby form, okay?
The next one is the cream egg. Is it British or is it American?
I mean, it's very obviously British. It's made by Cadbury. So, yeah, I think so. The only time you ever really get them in this country is at Easter. And they have that Cadbury Bunny campaign, that is basically the same commercial that they've been showing every year since I was little. And yeah, I mean, they're just British.
Are they, though?
Cadbury, yeah, British.
You are correct.
Ding, 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 ding.
A Cadbury cream egg. It was produced by... Actually, it wasn't even produced by Cadbury's.
What?
Before. It was Fry's who introduced it in 1963 as the Fry's cream egg.
Oh, yeah.
And then Cadbury bought it and, it was renamed Cadbury's cream egg in 1971.
I have one right now.
You are?
In my nightstand that I've been saving until I'm just desperate and I need it, It's just there waiting on me.
It's just there nestled away like a cute
I
little
wish
egg.
they were like half the size, I think. They're just too much by the time.
Funnily enough, someone went on Conan, BJ Novak, he's an actor, he went on Conan in like a few years back, and he was talking about how they shrunk in the US. Even though on the official website it says they're still the same size and same weight.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, they've definitely shrunk over here. And I knew that they'd done that. I was like, wait a minute, these are smaller than I remember.
Even when we buy them individually and just like the they're just all loose there and you buy them by the one. Because they sell them in like a box of like 3 or something, and those definitely look a bit smaller to me.
Yeah, no, they sell them in a box, and they're smaller. They're definitely smaller. Because remember, they used to make these tiny ones too. I don't know if they make them over here, but they used to make these really tiny versions of them.
I don't think so.
And they were small, but the actual Cadbury's cream egg, that was quite big. It was like the size of like an actual egg.
What? Oh my god, how could you ever eat that? I don't know, maybe, yeah, I guess.
How could you ever eat that?
You can't eat it all in one sitting. It's
yes, you can. I could probably put one right in my mouth and just freaking
you
happily.
You probably could, but normal people couldn't, okay?
Me and Mr. Skittles, eh?
Okay? Get out. Just get out. No.
Me and Mr. Skittles.
Me and the listeners have had just about enough of you, okay?
Okay, the next one. Mini eggs.
Oh, same. British.
You gonna say British?
Yeah.
Say your final answer. What do you think?
Actually, we've always had like little candy coated chocolate eggs like those. I don't know what. I seem to think though that they were like a cheap chocolate. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's another thing about the cream egg. They apparently Mondelez changed the recipe from Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate to just a standard cocoa mix chocolate, and apparently the sales slumped.
It tastes like dairy milk.
I think they changed it back after a while because people were like, because sales slumped. People were not having it, and they've shrunk the bloody things too.
Mini eggs. Oh,
mini eggs.
I mean, if we're just talking generic mini eggs, I really don't know because we've had those. I can remember them when I was little, and they were not Cadbury. They were just like candy coated.
Cadbury,
chocolate
they've always
eggs.
been Cadbury as long as I've known them.
Oh no, we've always had like different cheapy chocolates, or
no, it's only mini eggs.
And you can get them like
and
they're
they usually
wrapped
use them
as well.
They usually
sometimes they're wrapped in like foil, like a Cadbury egg, and you open it. And
but these ones have a little hard candy shell.
Yeah, I think they'd be wrapped.
And they
in
look
foil
like
still.
they look like like actual like little bunny eggs or whatever,
Bunny, they look like bunny eggs,
like little bunny eggs,
like the eggs that bunnies lay.
Like the eggs that bunnies lay. Yes.
No,
I'm teaching her so much that bunnies lay eggs. Mr. Skittles told me that bunnies lay eggs. Okay.
Just shut up. American. I say American.
You're gonna say American?
Yeah.
Well, you're wrong. It is British.
You cheat.
They were introduced in 1967. The egg is solid milk chocolate encased in a thin coating of hard candy shell, molded to resemble a miniature egg. So there you go. The next one, Terry's chocolate orange.
British. Next.
It is. Okay. It is. It was created by Terry's in 1932 at the works in York, England, and its brand has changed ownership several times, and production has moved to Eastern Europe in 2005.
Yeah, I mean, I've never ever even seen like another brand
Like
besides
that.
Terry's. I don't. Oh no, there is one. Ovation.
Ovation. Yeah.
Ovation.
I think that's a cheap.
I've never tried. I don't think so. They're about the same price.
Oh, are they?
I don't know who makes that though, and I've only just started seeing those in recent years. And I've never had one, so I don't know how they compare. Let us know if you've ever had one of those Ovation chocolate oranges.
I think I've only seen them at Walmart.
I think so, yeah.
Maybe at Target.
Walmart makes them.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Target didn't have.
Let us know if you've ever had that brand and how they compare to Terry's, yeah.
The last one on this list, which I'm sure you'll be relieved to know, is Rolo. Is it American or is it British?
Rolo. God, Rolo used to be one of my favorites.
Rolo. Rolo.
Gosh. I mean, I really don't know. It's just chocolate. And is it Nestle? Rolo? Oh, I don't know who makes it. It seems like something that should be American, possibly. It has a look about it that looks like something that should be American.
Looks American?
I'm going to say American.
You can say American as a final answer?
That's my final answer.
Okay. Well, you'd be wrong.
Oh, God. I give up.
Yeah.
I quit.
They were first manufactured in Norwich, in the United Kingdom, by Macintoshes in 1937, followed by Rowntree's after the takeover in 1969. They are made by Nestle, except in the US, where production has been licensed to the Hershey Company. A long-running British advertising slogan for the brand was, "Do you love anyone enough to give them your last Rolo?" I remember that one.
No.
And you don't?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well.
Sorry. Maybe half.
I'll
bite it in half and share it with you.
Yeah, you would do that as well, wouldn't you? I can see you doing it now. You're gonna go, "I've got a half for you." I had a slice of apple pie today. And she was like, "Oh, you didn't cut it in half. Oh." Yeah. I was just like, it was just me and Mr. Skittles
you
there.
Just grew
okay.
Oh my God. Okay, that's the excuse now, is it?
Mr. Skittles ate it.
Jeez. You guys.
But yes, we hope you enjoyed that.
I love Rolos. Yeah, I forget about Rolos.
I mean, I guess I've forgotten about them too a little bit, but when I was a kid, I used to love them. And Munchies. Munchies were a great candy too.
Movie theater thing, because you can just sneak them in quite easily.
Munchies, minstrels.
And they
Rolos.
never jack around with Rolos. You know how they always try to come up with all these like extra flavors?
Well, they're putting the lime back in lime Rolos as well.
What? Oh.
No.
I was like, what are you talking about?
The lime Skittles.
They don't do like white chocolate Rolos or cookies and cream Rolos?
I think they do white chocolate Rolos. I think I've seen them before, yeah. Oh, God. I think they have dark Rolo too.
Do they?
Dark.
I've never seen that.
I mean, maybe it's more popular in the UK than over here, but yeah, no, I was surprised to see Rolo over here actually. When I first came over, I was like,
no, we've had them forever.
Yeah, and you said that to me as well. You said, "Oh, we've had them forever." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I didn't know that, Like Twix and stuff like that, I just assumed were British. I assumed all candy was.
You assumed all candy was British.
Yeah.
And I guess I assumed it all was American.
Yeah, no, but it's the only American candy that I knew was like the Milky Way, and the Three Musketeers bar. You
knew they weren't.
They weren't
American?
because my Auntie Marion would come over here and she'd bring some back and just leave them in the bowl.
Oh, you knew they weren't British.
I knew they weren't British because obviously they weren't sold in.
Yeah, you guys have a Milky Way though, don't you?
Yeah,
and it's more like our Three Musketeers.
It's more like your Three Musketeers, except
so
it's like a white like fluffy nougat instead of like that pink.
No, say the word
nougat.
Nougat.
Nougat. Call it nougat.
I mean, do all British people call it nougat, or is it just you?
I call it nougat because I'm posh. And because that's how Mr. Skittles raised me.
Oh my god, okay, we're going now. No, and that was your last reference to Mr. Skittles. You are officially done. Thank you guys so much, as always, for
Justice
tuning in.
for Mr. Skittles!
We appreciate your support. This entire podcast has just been like an exercise in complete madness. I don't even know.
From you.
I don't even know.
From you.
Thank you guys so much for your support. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to check us out on social media. We are at TButty, TEABUTTY, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And we'll talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.